You're tuned into All2ReelToo. Be sure to subscribe, download, share the show with a friend, and stop by all2reeltoo.com for our social links, Patreon, and TeePublic store info.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame, conk it up, and Carta.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, how's life there, Sesame?
It's not great, but,
Well, that was a good story.
no. Not great.
Yeah. So, how about your health? How's that doing?
I may be okay. I'm not sleeping well, but that's, fine, whatever.
That's good.
Yeah, good to not sleep well.
So,
supposed to use a sleeping mask, but I can't. It sucks and it feels like shit, and I'm not doing it. So
a sleeping mask, what?
Actual, like a tube and a breath and all that shit.
Well, that kind of thing, like a mask.
It just doesn't feel good on my face. I don't like strapping something to my head. I don't understand how anyone thought that this would be a good idea for people. They're like, oh, you'll get used to it. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going to get used to something strapped to my head. What are you talking about? Like, especially if I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I've never had to have anything on my face when I'm sleeping, but I wear because I've got carpal tunnel and I've got arthritis, so I have to wear like a brace on my hand at night.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd get used to that, but I did get used to that eventually. But but that's on my hand. I don't know about something on my face,
It's just like nobody likes this shit. Nobody who's ever used them ever has something good to say about it. It's always, the tube doesn't move well, so you're constantly, it's like yanking, like it's like you versus the tube. So it's like if you try to turn over, normally you just turn over and then, but now with this thing, it like yanks on you. So you're like basically like pulling your weight against, it's like, who wants to sleep like that, And then like sometimes, get like these like little sores. This is a great conversation to have, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
This is what two middle-aged guys who have a podcast are now just talking about their health problems.
Well, maybe we can start giving health advice to,
we got to give advice to the guy. Yeah.
Other middle-aged and older guys do that too, like Joe Rogan and whatnot.
I don't have any health. I don't have any ivermectin to advocate.
Yeah, I'm saying they get millions of listeners, so maybe if we start doing that, we'll start getting listeners too.
And we just interview any person who has any opinion on any subject, and we just agree with them. But then the very next guest, we just agree with that person, even if that person says the opposite of what the last guest had said. We're like, whoa, are you kidding me? That's why, bro.
Janie, can you pull it up and see if that's right?
And of course, Jamie's like, I hate to misinform you, Joe, but you're incorrect again. What? Really? I earned $5 million for this exchange. Fuck you.
I have heard that all of your ailments can be cured if you eat pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just down like you start, what you got to do is anytime you find a penny, you just get one of those 20-ounce bottles of Coke and you just start putting them inside there. Mm-hmm. And then when you're done, you just drink it like it's the Coke.
And it's not official advice, but we're saying we've heard that.
I've heard this.
I've heard this before. I'm not saying
Yeah.
You should definitely do it. I'm just saying what I've heard.
Mainstream media never talks about this. Makes you wonder why, huh?
Mainstream media never tells you to swallow a penny. Why? Exactly. Is there got something?
Makes you think, doesn't it?
It does make me think.
See, that way I'm not actually saying that you should.
No, see, you're not. You're being very careful.
I've heard about this, and mainstream media doesn't talk about it, so that means it's true.
It makes me think in terms of the fact that mainstream media hasn't said anything about something that therefore automatically makes that thing true. That makes me think of why people believe that. Because mainstream media has also not told me to, not go up into the clouds and try to eat the cloud dust. But maybe that must mean eating clouds is good because the media hasn't told me it's good to do it.
I've heard that the clouds are actually made out of cotton candy.
Yeah. And so that it just basically the media doesn't want you to have a free treat. Basically.
The media doesn't want you to know this.
No, they want you big cotton candy.
They never talk about it.
But candy wants you to buy candy, not get it for free, right? So, but I also heard the clouds are chemtrails, so I'm not sure how that squares.
Well, the thing is the chemtrails are in the cotton candy, and they.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
So that's what I've heard.
Okay.
And
all right, that's cool.
So if you ever go to like a state fair or something and you buy some cotton candy, ask for extra chemtrail.
They like look at you like
yeah, I hear it's only in the blue cotton candy, not in like the pink cotton candy.
Really?
Speaking of mainstream media,
yes.
Mainstream media decided not to air this pilot that we're covering today that Sesame found on the tubes of you. And it is a 1996 pilot that was produced for UPN.
Yep, UPN.
Called Black at Ya.
I used to watch that channel a lot.
Yeah, me too. And this was created by, written by, and starring Rusty Cundieff. I think it's Cundieff. Also starred John O'Hurley. That's all it has on IMDb of the stars. But former guest of the show, Mark Christopher Lawrence, was also in the cast of this prominently. And see that he had worked with Rusty in the past in Fear of a Black Hat, which Rusty wrote and directed in 1993.
Yeah, I think I know that.
Yeah, it's a
movie or TV show.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie that it's like an American mockumentary film on the evolution and state of American hip hop music. Yeah, there's it's documenting the fake group NWH.
That's funny. And was there also something called CB4 or is that a different movie?
That's a different movie. Yeah.
Fear of Black Hex. Isn't there a song called Fear of Black Planet or an album called Fear of Black Planet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The title derived from the 1990 Public Enemy album Fear of a Black Planet. Yeah. Fear of a Black Hat. The NWH are N words but AZ at the end instead of ER.
Oh, okay.
With hats.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Someday maybe we'll cover that. Hopefully, I'm going to try to get So basically, a lot of people compared that movie to like Spinal Tap. So,
I mean, it's. I mean, from what I remember, it does have that kind of vibe to it.
Because I haven't seen it in probably 30 years, but
right. Yeah, I think me too. I think I saw the CB4 more than I watched this, but
yeah, I did too. Like CB4 was a Chris Rock thing, so it was more.
Totally different thing. I know. No, I get that, but like, speaking of like vibes and stuff, this show here reminded me in some ways 30 Rock, which I know seems.
That's what I was going to say. It was like a precursor to 30 Rock in a lot of ways.
So a very specifically black version of that because like that's the main.
Yeah.
The show is the guy. He's trying to basically. Find a medium of how he can control his own show, but also, please the investors or whatever,
It also had kind of a Chappelle Show feel to it.
And Living Color a little bit.
Yeah.
Remind me a little bit of that, which that
I'm sure in Living Color was what the show within the show was based on.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it really felt like to me. Too.
Yeah. Rusty went on to write for the Chappelle Show. So.
There you go.
Yeah. He also wrote Tales from the Hood.
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah. Tales from the Hood. He wrote that. And then directed it. And he also wrote and directed Tales from the Hood 2.
I didn't see that one.
No.
No, I didn't even know that one existed. I used to watch Tales from the Hood a lot during one summer. I don't know why, but I was really into it for some reason, and I watched it like times that summer. I don't remember much about it now, but at the time I watched it a lot.
Yeah, it looks like he's let me see he's been directing a lot of things recently. Rusty has he also he directed Tales from the Hood 3 as well. There's a third one.
Oh my God.
Which came out in 2020. He directed 2 episodes of Creep Show in 2021. Directed the movie 57 Seconds, starring Josh Hutcherson and Morgan Freeman in 2023. And 2024, he did Meet Me Next Christmas, which stars Christina Milian and DeVale Ellis. Yeah, it looks like kind of like a I would say like a black Hallmark movie sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got
That's cool.
So yeah. But he's also done a lot of things like in the past, like the Wanda Sykes Show. He's also won a Razzie for being one of the many directors of Movie 43, which is considered the worst movie ever made.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd imagine it was probably supposed to be bad, right? I mean, it seems like it was.
I don't know. I've never seen it, but it's yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen either, but I've heard.
But he directed episodes of Burning Back, Clueless, Chappelle Show as well. Yeah.
Okay. Now, which guy is it? The guy that you have a profile picture? Is that the guy you're talking about?
No, Rusty is the main actor in this.
I got the background picture.
Yes.
So for context, we both have pictures of actors from the show as our profile picture for this episode. Yeah.
Yes.
Every episode by list.
I have Mark Christopher Lawrence, who's friend of the show, Mark Christopher Lawrence. Who I'm hoping to try to get back on the show sometime, maybe to talk about this pilot. If so, I might release the 2 together or something, or as a bonus episode.
Yeah.
But, so what'd you think of this this episode here? There's by the way, there's no plot or anything listed or log line on IMDb for this. So but normally we read that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I liked it. I mean, I was looking for something to watch, for our show, and I was, looking for, something a little bit shorter because we did some movies lately, and I just wanted to do something a little shorter. So I was like pilot episodes, like weird pilot episodes or unaired, whatever. And then this came up, and I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And so it's called Black at you, back at you, and I didn't even register it being like it's 3 months when I even thought about it. But then afterwards, like, oh, well, that's kind of, poignant almost, like,
yeah,
I mean, not like it's we do things like series kind of, so it just
this will probably air in March, but still.
Oh, okay, well, I tried, That's right. We usually start recording a month before, anyway.
Yeah,
but, it's fine.
February is or was, depending on this is in the future when you're listening to this, was Stephen King. So
yeah, who knows? By March, the world might not even exist anymore. So we'll just, you listen to it, you might not. Who knows? And no, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny. I watched it last night. I did not have to put it on double speed or anything like that. With like some of the movies I have to watch because they're so bad, which is funny. We do it on purpose a lot of times. Yeah. I'm not saying this show is bad. I'm just saying that a lot of times we'll choose something that's just like kind of weird and not in a good way. But I think this was pretty funny. I can understand sort of why it wasn't picked up because of the year 1996. It's one of those things where it's like, I think someone's right, but too early. And so nobody is there to appreciate what it is, so it just kind of
it was an interesting concept. I mean, we watched something kind of similar called The Show, which we did a pilot or episode on as well, where it was behind the scenes kind of at a black variety show. That one was starring Sam Cedar and some other people. I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember that one. I did the name of the show, but now it
was just called The Show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a similar concept, probably around the same time it was made too. And I mean, I don't know because that one actually aired. The show aired for a few episodes before it got canceled.
That one was more sanitized in this one, I think. It was,
Yeah,
it was like on the safe version of something, but
a little bit. I mean, it was slightly edgy, but not as much. But this one was, I don't know if you want to call it edgy or anything, but it was like it was kind of doing an FU to networks. But the thing is, it was on UPN, which wasn't like one of the big three networks at the time. So, and like you said, it does have kind of a 30 Rock feel to it. And it. What it did, it was kind of around that time too in the 90s and stuff, when you had a lot of like Spike Lee, his commentary on Hollywood, and we're two white dudes talking about a show about black people. So I mean, I'm just saying,
we're a lot of the people allowed to talk about anything they want,
No, like, I know, but I'm just saying we don't. Our perspective isn't necessarily the perspective that you want to hear for this, but it's but it is what. But
I mean, what we've learned so far in our country, Mike, though, is that sometimes skin color doesn't really mean shit. Like, for example, take Candace Owens in a room with us, but we're not in the same room. But whatever, like, imagine Candace Owens goes off on this huge rant about, black people, whatever. And then we come in and go, actually, I disagree with you. I go, well, no, you disagree with the black person. I'm like, yeah, I disagree with the black person who's saying that black people are bad. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, got me. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm currently in the middle of a series of podcast episodes about the history of Candace Owens, which is funny too. So,
dude, what? Oh, seriously? There's a
show. It's a show called Conspiracy. She wrote. She's doing a series of episodes about Candace Owens. So yeah. So it's interesting. I'm like the second episode. I don't know when the third one airs and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm still listening to the Behind the Bastards about Muhammad bin Salman, so I'm still those are long episodes. But anyway, no, I get what you're saying too, but at the same time, it's like, who gives a shit? Like, like we're like living in like a topsy-turvy world. We're not.
Yeah, I mean, you live in a world where pedophilia is like somehow okay, but singing in Spanish at the Super Bowl isn't. But
no, the Latina women were twerking. What I love about that shit too is like you got so many. I know, like I'm like completely off the subject now, but you got so many of these men who are like, I'm so disgusted by those really thick Latina women dancing around, and I'm gonna turn that off and watch a country boy talk about wanting to drink beer and drive his truck because I'm a man, which I means I hate big titties and big butts.
Yeah.
What? I don't compute, huh?
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of this like weirdness where people are like, you're not a man unless you like watching, wrestling or something like that. Guys in spandex, rubbing up against each other, and but I'm hetero.
That's what real man is. I'm like, oh, okay, because we
also live in a world where somebody like Nick Fuentes says basically that it's it's gay to have sex with a woman.
I know we're getting to that point where people are actually like legitimately making an argument about that. They're like, oh, these beautiful Latina women shaking their butts and dancing seductively. I just can't take it anymore. I'm like, oh, okay.
And they weren't even dancing seductively. They were just dancing.
Well, they were twerking and stuff. But
they were a little bit, but I mean, it was nothing worse than anything else that you see on TV. It was nothing, But anyways, back to the show.
Sorry, I don't want to be responsible who gets us off.
Yeah, no, you're good. But speaking of like big butts, that was actually part of this episode. But
oh, that's right. Yeah, that's a good segue. Cool. I mean, you clocked it at me. But
yes. So, there was basically the concept of this thing is it's a black variety show on TV, kind of like an In Living Color sort of thing, and they're because this I mean it's got to be that it was based on In Living Color to a point, because this was on, I mean, In Living Color started airing in the 80s, so this is like obviously probably after In Living Color was off the air already, or still on the end, towards the end of the run of a show. Mm-hmm. But it's like the studio is kind of interfering and trying to make the show not so black or urban or whatever. And they want to make it more, safe black on TV when you're, how they have safe things like Ben Vereen or Sammy Davis Jr. Of course.
Yeah. But, I had to look up who Ben Vereen was. I never
Oh, wow. Ben Vereen. I mean, Ben Vereen's an amazing actor. And, Broadway star and everything. Yeah, I mean, he was in Roots and stuff too. But he also played both Webster's like uncle or dad, I think, or uncle. Yeah, played Webster's uncle on the TV show Webster, but he also played Will Smith's dad on Fresh Prince.
Okay,
so yeah,
that's pretty interesting. How do you spell his name?
Ben Vereen.
Yeah, how do you spell his name?
Ben.
Okay, I know that part.
I know. That was pretty funny. Vereen, Verine, maybe.
Was Ben, is it Bureen or
V is in Victor.
Okay, V, and then I see it. Ben Vereen, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know who he is. Okay, yeah. I see.
Or like, you know, Rusty does like an impersonation of him in this episode too, in one of the sketches. But you know, it is interesting though too, because it is like more so like the original idea of 30 Rock was for it to be both sketches and behind the scenes, and then it got to the point where it was just all behind the scenes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
because at the first few episodes, you do see a lot of the actual show going on.
So this kind of showed you both, and I liked the way that when they were showing the stuff that was on TV, it was filmed on tape or taped on tape, but then the behind the scenes stuff was on film. So the creative choice was interesting there. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of a cool concept. I think, like you said, it was kind of ahead of its time, or it just wasn't the right time. Mm-hmm. I think it would have worked if it would have aired. I think it would have been pretty cool to see. You had John O'Hurley as a like network executive, typical, you know, stereotypical white guy, which was cool. And then you have like different layers of things. And then you have the sniveling agent who's trying to take on both sides, like where he's like telling Rusty that, I've got your back. And then he's telling the studio that I've got your back. And then you've got Mark Christopher Lawrence's character, who's one of the writers, who they are trying to talk into not writing this one sketch and doing something different. And the reason, because they think the original sketch is going to turn off the white audience or whatever. And but they send in like a woman to try to talk him into writing a different type of sketch, promising him his own, made for TV movie and shit, so that he can direct and everything. So, it shows a lot of the behind the scenes of like Hollywood and how, people kind of sell out their morals or their convictions and stuff for a paycheck.
True, but what I like what they did with this show though is that the guy almost immediately confessed and was basically kind of asking the favor from his friend to like, hey, could you do this one thing for me because it would help me out too? And the guy's like, yeah, sure. So that was kind of a nice thing. I mean, you probably get that very much in Hollywood, but that's a nice kind of thing of like, we're in this together. I'll do this bullshit thing, for you so that you can, get something.
It is like, it's a lot of compromise when you're making a movie or a TV show anyways, but there's sometimes the compromise is that usually you're compromising towards the studio and not the other way around.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, that's why I like this episode. Because speaking of like compromise, because now that I'm actually cognizant that it is Black History Month, because I just kind of forgot about it when I even mentioned the show. I was talking about Malcolm X, the movie last week with you. And like Spike Lee had to basically fight for it to be the way that it turned out. At one point, they literally wanted it to be an hour and a half long movie. So half the runtime of the actual movie itself. But actually, no, Malcolm X doesn't actually end. I mean, like credits roll, but like before credits roll, it's 3 hours and 15 minutes long. And then the credits, right? And so that's how long the actual movie is. The studio wanted it to be no more than 90 minutes long and no budget to travel to Saudi Arabia or the Middle East or anything like that. It literally wanted like a beach in New Jersey to basically be like Mecca. And he's like, no, we're not. No, I'm not going to do that. Like, you know what I mean? And so like you say, sometimes
sometime in the near future, we should cover that movie.
Oh, just think it's Black History Month, maybe not next week, but maybe who knows? Maybe I'll suggest the Morgan Freeman one because that's a little bit more obscure. Oh no, I'm just saying because like everyone seemed to
I'm saying maybe we can in the next year we'll do a Black History Month.
Well, if next year exists, that is without nuclear holocaust and stuff. But it's possible.
You can't call it a holocaust. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, no. Sorry, we can't call that. No.
Yeah, but anyways,
so.
It'll be like a nuclear party.
Yes. Well, A party, yeah, definitely.
Yes. But yeah, and I mean, it'll be fine. You know, we'll be in bunkers recording our podcast.
Yeah,
And,
so that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
One, no, I think so.
I'm assuming we'll be in bunkers and we'll still be able to, like, you know, watch HBO Max or something.
As long as we can watch like our shows, like, you know, like It, Welcome to Dairy, or Severance, which I'm getting into now.
Yeah,
you know, that stuff.
Yeah, we'll be good. But yeah, the show basically doesn't. I mean, the plot is basically just the studio and the main star kind of like butting heads, but it's also. I mean, there's kind of like slightly like an inner struggle for Rusty trying to be who he is. And I mean, it starts out with what seems like an Entertainment Tonight sort of interview, but it's, you know, some generic show or whatever that they have for this, where the white guy interviewing him is all like, "You're from the hood, right?" And it's just like, you know,
he's like no, like
suburbs, you know. It's like, "I'm from the suburbs of Cincinnati," like, what the, you know. So it's just, yeah, it's like they want to put like black people into like certain boxes, you know, and it's the same thing that they want to do with anybody, but it especially 30 years ago, they really wanted to do that with, you know, ethnic people, I guess, if you want to call it that. So,
yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. Anything else you want to say about this?
I don't know. Like, so going off all these tangents, but I mean, no, like there's not a whole lot to say about the actual episode. I mean, that's not a dig at it. Just like,
no, because it's full 25 minutes. So it's,
you know, time, you know, but like, I mean, there's a few parts too that stuck out to me too, is like the part where they're like you said, like the agents like always kind of like, who knows, maybe if we got more episodes, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
it revealed that he was just kind of pretending to be with the board just to kind of sneak in his clients' ideas into it, you know, kind of thing.
And the thing is, it's like there's the character dynamics weren't really well defined in this episode. I mean, I don't want to like knock it too much, but you know, that's one of the major things I could see why they didn't pick it up, because it was like I think you needed like a little bit more, you know, substance to some of the characters, if that makes sense. Like, you know, like we'll compare it to something like 30 Rock, which I mean is similar or something like that, or any other show. Like right off the bat, when you watch the pilot of 30 Rock, you know who's who.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get that. Yeah,
I mean,
that makes sense.
I think. I mean, that could have been like a little bit reformulated here, where you could have like a little bit more, I don't know, character for Rusty here. I mean, except for, you know, just the guy doing the show sort of thing, you know, like, you know, but it's still cool. I mean, and the thing is Rusty's, you know, well, a really talented guy, and you know, it's just it's kind of hard, I think, sometimes to be the writer and the star of something too.
Yeah, because they're totally different roles. I was thinking too, I don't know if it kind of, the show kind of reminds me a little bit, maybe not because it's been like such a long time since I've seen it, but the movie Bamboozled, because isn't that kind of like similar in a sense? I mean, that one's way more like,
it's similar in a way. Yeah,
that one's got much more like race. Well, speaking of Spike Lee, he was Spike Lee also directed this one too, Bamboozled.
Yeah, he directed that. Yeah, and I mean it's and that's the thing. It's like, I think at this time too, it was like kind of hard for people to be put into certain boxes, and like, you know, it's like you're either Spike Lee or you're Ben Vereen, you know, sort of, it's like, or whatever. Or, it's like you can't be you're, you know, or you're Nipsey Russell or something, you know. It's like at the time there were certain black actors and black comedians and stuff like that were in certain boxes, and directors and actors and stuff. And especially in the 90s, when you either had to do like the kind of hood stuff or be flat out like stereotypical comedy, like In Living Color or something like that. Where, I mean, I think you started to get into this more nuanced stuff with even with like Fresh Prince or something like that. You started to get more nuance,
right? Because like there's like the whole thing, like the whole like Carlton effect too, where it's like, oh, Carlton's the white black person, you know, and it's just like, but like in general too, I think as a society, we're all, that's also the nuance is like bending to like everyone else too, where it's like you don't have to just be the one thing anymore. Like you can be like a jock, but then also be into Dungeons and Dragons. So it doesn't have to be like you choose one. And that's a weird example of what we just talked about. But like, I just mean like in general, there is a kind of loosening of these like strictures of like where you can only be one version of a person. Like you can't, you know, I'm not sure.
And that's the thing. It's like they maybe that's where they were trying to go with Rusty and some of the other characters, and this is where they weren't trying to like pigeonhole them into a certain character archetype, but it's like you kind of need a slight archetype when you're writing characters. but it's not. I'm not seeing like stereotype archetypes. I'm thinking like, give somebody certain aspect, like where you make somebody smug, you make somebody smart, you make somebody a nerd, you make somebody this, but it doesn't define their whole character, but you give them that aspect where it's part of their character that helps them stand out as a character. Whereas sometimes you're just a bland character, which is what reality is more like. But
yeah, unfortunately, like you got like Niles Crane, for example. Like he's pretty much one dimensional, even though he's still a funny character. But I have to watch Fraser lately, so that's why.
But he has a character, whereas
I know, yeah,
but like what I'm saying is like you can go like broad, like something like Steve Urkel or Screech or something, but or you can be subtle with characters. But I think somehow with this, they were a little bit too subtle in certain areas. But I mean, I did like the show. And I think that if it would have had more time to develop, it would have been really good.
Yeah. I agree with that. I was actually looking for like other episodes. Like sometimes you usually find at least like 2 or 3 online, but apparently this was the only one that they ever.
Yeah. I mean, they probably just shot the pilot and it didn't get picked up. So they never shot anything else. Yeah.
Oh, who knows? Maybe someone's got like, a secret copy and no one's ever seen. It's like in their or something.
I mean, we'll see. I messaged Mark about it, so we'll see what. Yeah. I mean, he was in it, so we'll see what he has to say about it. Yeah. Anyways, any final thoughts here on this episode?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, folks, just be good.
Yeah.
Be good to each other. If you're looking for a way to help support the show, we do have a website, all2reeltoo.com. You can go there, and there's links to our TeePublic where you can buy some merch. Also, a link to our Patreon where you can join. You can join for free even.
True.
Get any kind of news or information about All2ReelToo. The Patreon is patreon.com/All2ReelToo.
Yep.
It's not hard to forget.
Well,
share the show with your friends.
Do it.
Rate the show wherever you can. Give us a 5-star review.
Or 5-star men. You gotta give us 5 stars.
Yes, because we are.
Like that episode of Sunny with Dennis. Where I'm a 5-star man.
Yeah.
Start having a tangent. I'm a 5-star man.
I am. I know that.
I am too now.
Yeah.
I'm like a 3.2.
Yeah. I'm
maybe a 3.9 man.
See, I'm like a 10-star man.
A 10?
Yeah. So at least that's what I tell myself. Anyway, so yeah. Just remember that no human is illegal.
Nope.
Trans lives are human lives.
Yeah.
Fuck the patriarchy. Fuck the oligarchy.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Yep.
Free Palestine.
Yep.
Be different. Be yourself.
Nope.
No.
Be like everyone else. No, I'm kidding.
No. I want to be different and be myself. And just remember that I love you. Conk it up. Sesame.
It's such a weird phrase.
Yes, Sesame.
I'm the one who made it. Yeah, no, I love everyone who listens to our podcast and enjoys it at least a little bit.
Yes,
including the one person who says that we give terrible advice on our advice podcast. The one that is obsessed with Addams Family. I'm sorry. Yeah. I still love that guy though, or that person.
I love everybody that listens to this podcast. Yeah. Unless you're like a serial killer or something, but
I wouldn't want that.
I mean, I guess I can still love you, but I just don't approve of what you do, and I recommend you turn yourself in.
Probably,
yeah. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production, produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.
This episode is brought to you by Athletic Brewing Company. No matter how you do game day, on the couch, in the crowd, or manning the snack table, Athletic Brewing fits right in. With a full lineup of non-alcoholic beer styles, you can enjoy bold flavors all game long. No hangovers, no buzz, no subbing out for water in the second half. Stock the fridge for tip-off with a variety of non-alcoholic craft styles available at your local grocery store or online at athleticbrewing.com. Near beer, fit for all times.
President Barack Obama.
Virginia,
We are counting on you. Republicans want to steal enough seats in Congress to rig the next election and wield unchecked power for 2 more years. But you can stop them by voting yes by April 21st. Help put our elections back on a level playing field and let voters decide, not politicians. Vote yes by April 21st.
Paid for by Virginians for Fair Elections.
Spring just slid into your DMs. Grab that boho look for that rooftop dinner, those sandals that can keep up with you, and hang some string lights to give your patio a glow up. Spring's calling. Ross, work your magic.